SODIS. SODIS stands for water disinfection, a process by which contaminated water is purified to make it drinkable for people. Many people within the developing world suffer from water shortage or contamination. This is due to poverty and lack of financial support. These countries fail to provide their people with healthy and clean water. This makes people consume unpurified water that can be infected with many harmful microorganisms. This happens because the water consumed is subjected to these infections, as in the river that the sewage water ends up to. Some people consume filthy water from rivers exposed to pathogenic agents that cause infections to our bodies. These infections can be bacteria, fungus, protozoa, or even viruses. As for the bacteria, E. coli is a good example. This species causes diarrhea, anemia, or kidney failure. Cholera is another example of bacteria contaminating water. But how does it infect us? They infect the gastrointestinal tract. These bacteria can spread from the feces of the contaminated person to water, soil, or even flies, which then ends up to the food chain to healthy people to make them unhealthy. What exactly happens with cholera? As we can see, this is a diagram showing the gastrointestinal tract of the human, the stomach and the intestines. Due to low levels of pH in the stomach, cholera can't survive. However, in the intestine, the pH is kept at high levels. Due to bicarbonate secretions, cholera survives. What are the symptoms? Severe dehydration, which leads to death if left untreated in hours. Finally, retrovirus is a good example of viruses. What do? They replicate in a host cell through the process of reverse transcription. In most viruses, DNA is transcribed into RNA, which is then translated into proteins. However, this is not the case in retroviruses. They function differently. Their RNA is reverse transcribed into DNA, which is integrated into the host cell's genome and then undergoes the usual transcription translational processes. To prevent all of this from happening, we can place bottles of water under the heat of sun. Solar disinfection inactivates these species. This causes the disruption of normal cellular functions. They must be kept in 6 to 48 hours. To increase the disinfection rate, aluminum foil can be attached to the back of the bottles. Finally, the water can be consumed. However, it must be consumed in 2 days without posing risks to people.